So I want you to introduce yourself to the world. Tell them who you are and why did you come to Japan?
My name is Sierra. I'm better known as Frokyo online. I am known for being seen around Harajuku with my very colorful hair and clothes. And I'm also well known as a pink lover. And I moved to Japan 2 years ago to go to college here. I go to the American University Temple's campus here in Tokyo, and I study art. I don't really know why I chose to go to school in Japan. I just wanted to try something new, basically, and I ended up here.
Okay, so I know that you are the leader for the Black Lives Matter movement here in Tokyo. But before I get to that, I want to ask you, how have you been impacted personally with all that's taking place in America right now? Like, what's the motivation behind you, just championing that arm of BLM in Japan, in Tokyo?
Well, I live in Tokyo, but everybody in my family lives in the US, and I'm from the US. I have a lot of friends in America still, and I still go back to America. I might move back to America one day. So the issues happening in America are very personal and important to me. And I mean, in general, even if I weren't American, like this is not okay. But especially since like my family is there, it's pretty important to me personally as well.
Tell people what they can expect this weekend at the march, and tell them also what the goal of the march is.
So this weekend at the march, we're trying to be pretty organized, trying to make sure that everybody's going to know what's going on. We don't want like complete chaos or anything happening. And we also want to make sure that it stays very peaceful. There should not be any cause for concern about any sort of trouble with anybody. We want to make sure that people understand that we're not here to protest the Japanese government in some way or anything like that. But we really, a big part of it is wanting to stand in solidarity with the people in the US who are fighting right now.
Mhm.
Even though we can't be there, we want to show them that we understand, we know what's going on, and we haven't forgotten about them, and
Yeah.
that just us Americans are not the only people that care over here anyway. And then we also have another goal of the march, which is to raise awareness about the issues in the US as well as issues here in Japan that Black people face.
Okay, so there's one thing that grew out of the protests that have been going on. Like people have sent me messages, and I wanted to speak to this. Japanese people, one of the main concerns that they raise, sorry, is why not around the U.S. embassy? Like they're saying, what, Japan never did anything. Like I've received those messages, and even on the this channel as well, people are asking that, like why don't they just go there? What do you say to those people?
Well, first of all, you can't actually like just go to the embassy. Uh, Regardless of where you try to do a protest here in Japan, you have to obtain a permit and verify it with the police first. And I think that right now is a particularly difficult time to get to the U.S. embassy. I'm not really sure, but the police did not like that idea and did not approve that.
Oh,
So
so you guys actually asked them about that.
yeah, we tried to do a route that went around the embassy, but they said we couldn't do that. So
Okay. So what has the response been so far overall with what you guys are doing? What has the response been, both from foreigners and Japanese alike?
it's been mostly positive, but right now I'm mostly getting the response from people who like want to be in the group. So like the Facebook group that I created now has over 2,500 members. So like that has been really positive, and it's getting like shared a lot online. But there have also been some foreigners who uh, don't like it, or who kind of say they're like, oh, like why do you do this in Japan? Or like Japan doesn't have problems, which is weird. But there, and then Japanese people There are Japanese people in the group. The group is mostly, I think, foreigners, but there's like an increasing amount of Japanese people starting to join it. And I guess we'll see what happens when we go out this weekend and see how the reaction is. But when I went out with just like really small protest with just a couple of my friends, or not really protest, but kind of like trying to like inform the public, uh,
Mhm.
the response from Japanese people was pretty positive, actually.
Okay. So tell us the details of the march, like where it's happening, what time, and the date as well.
The march will be happening on June 14th. We ask everybody to arrive at the Yoyogi Event Plaza area, and we will direct you to exactly like the street that it's starting at. It starts at like the end of that street, but if you're not really familiar with that, then just put like Yoyogi Event Plaza or like NHK Hall and on Google Maps, and you'll be able to find the spot pretty easily. And we will be starting from there at 3 p.m. So we ask everybody to arrive by 2:45 at the latest so that we can start on time. And then we will be going through Shibuya and Harajuku and making a loop back around to Yoyogi as part of our route.
So those people who were talking, the foreigners who were talking about, the backlash, right? I've seen even tweets on Twitter all over the place. What do you say to those people, the foreigners who are just saying different things?
Honestly, me personally, I don't even have time to respond. I really have enough time to respond to the people who are trying to help me like set this up that I can't be bothered to like argue with people online. Um, but I suppose if I were to actually respond to them, I would say that Black Lives Matter all over the world, and Black people do face issues and racism all over the world, including in Japan. And beyond that, even putting that aside and just focusing on like the idea of talking about American issues in Japan, we live in a very global, interconnected society, and people should be aware of something so major and massive that is happening, even if it is on the other side of the world, because their voice also matters. And there have been other countries where people are protesting and they're talking
Mhm.
about the US, but they're still showing out massive numbers. And this has been good for the people in America who are out protesting because they see that they're not being ignored. They
Yeah.
see that other people do care and are supporting them. And it also helps other people to just kind of like take it seriously and feel a bit more pressure because it shows that the whole world is watching.
Indeed. Another question as well. Um, what don't people understand about the marches, right? Because there is the reason I'm asking these questions is because of just questions I've received and stuff like that. So I'm just putting it forth just so that you can respond to it. So when people watch the video, they can just just hear what you have to say and just get an understanding. So people, one of the things that it seems like people don't understand the marches, or there's a misconception about what Black Lives Matter represent. Talk to those people, please.
I think that people associate Black Lives Matter because it is a mainly I mean, it's an American organization. Like the official organization is American based, and I mean the emphasis is definitely on American racism, in particular, like police brutality in the U.S.
Mhm.
So I think because of that, people think that you can only talk about American issues and that only Americans should talk about these sort of things.
Mm.
And I I don't see why that has to be the case, because, like I said, this isn't really people aren't able to just be like isolated anymore. Everybody is connected. Everybody in the world is connected. So I don't see why people shouldn't be in the loop about things that are especially massive movements that have the potential to change laws which have caused changes and progress to be made. I think that everybody should see what's happening and be able to have a say and participate in that sort of thing.
How can people support if they want to help out?
So since we just started up the group, we don't have any sort of like, I don't know, like a official like fund or something ourselves, but there are numerous organizations that you can donate to help
Mhm.
out, and we have a website also. So if you check the description, then you can go to our website and read a little bit more about why we made the group, examples of things that happen in Japan, information about things happening in the U.S., as well as a list of further resources where you can help as well. Or
Okay.
you can also join our Facebook group.
Anything else you want to share about the march on Sunday for those who are watching?
I hope to see you there. Hope that we can have a good time while showing the world what's going on. And if you do come, remember we're remaining peaceful and calm during this march.
All right. Thank you so much, Sierra. And guys, thank you so much for watching. All the links will be in the description down below. So if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, and you want to be a part of it, the link is in the description. Go and join the Facebook group. Check the website out. Thanks for coming on, and see you guys later. Bye for now.